great interest in the process in this year's election. But I think we also need to commend all 6 of these candidates. You know, there's no lack of people who will complain about what's going on and tell you how things need to be done. But when it comes time to step up to the plate, you very rarely see those people do that. We have 6 gentlemen here this evening who are doing just that. They are Aubrey Dunn, Earl Greer, Terry Marquardt, Monty Newman, Greg Sowards, and Ed Tinsley. So I think you need to give them a hand for Now, that having been said, I'm going to tell you who the most important people in this room are. Those are the timekeepers sitting right here. And when we get into the question and answers, they will hold up signs that will tell you how much time you have left, and it will diminish pretty quickly. And when she gets down to that red thing right there, now she ran for office once, I think, didn't you? Oh, didn't you? Oh, you ran away? And she's got a husband who's a judge and a former state police officer, so she knows the law. So when the red sign goes up, that means stop. You will get here in just a moment, about a minute, to tell us your entire life story as an introduction. And then you'll get 5 questions, which I have here, that have been written from the Republican Party of Otero County. And you get 2 minutes to answer those. Now, if you feel that after somebody has answered that question, you need a rebuttal, you'll get a 1-minute rebuttal. Just let us know, and you'll get a chance to rebut whatever's said. And then we're going to take a 10-minute intermission to meet the second most important people in this room, and that's the women who brought and or made the cookies back there, which some of you are taping them already. And then after the intermission, we'll do the same question and answer process. This will be 5 questions that you, the audience, submitted, and you'll get 2 minutes to answer them and a 1-minute rebuttal if you feel you need it, and then 2 minutes to close and give a closing statement. We have a city election going on this evening. The polls closed about 15 minutes ago, and Phil's got someone who's going to call him when we get a result of the contested election in the GRT. So when that comes in, we'll let you know who won what and if that GRT passed or didn't pass. Also, you can see this and hear this beginning tomorrow on Phil Reynolds' alamoam.com webpage. If you go down to the second section there, pictures of myself and Gene Valance, you can click on some audio and you can hear this event this evening. And when will it be up on everythingalamoverdo.com?
2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days. You can watch it on everythingalamoverdo.com. Is that correct? Okay. All right. You all got a green piece of paper this evening? You'll get a green piece of paper in a minute. Okay. What this green piece of paper is when you walked in this door, if you had your mind made up who you were going to vote for, check that.
I was born and raised here. I was raised in a little place called High Rolls between here and Cloudcroft. I graduated just up the road here from Alamogordo High School in 1974. That'll kind of date me. I'm married to Robin Dunn. We've been married 29 years. We have 3 kids, Blair, Jamie, and Jed. Blair just graduated from law school, and Jamie and Jed are in college. A couple things I'd like to know. I was 25 years in banking, retired in February. From there, I went to the ranch that Rob and I own. We operate a 40-section ranch on the Chaviston County line. Thanks for coming out tonight. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
All right, we're going to get to our questions now, which have been prepared by the Republican Party, and you have, again, 2 minutes to answer those. And if you feel as if you'd like a rebuttal, you can get a 1-minute rebuttal. We have also written these questions down, and I passed the first questions out so you guys can get a look at it. And that is, one of the key qualities of leadership is vision. Not only having it, but having the ability to realize it in a very real way. A clear and present crisis facing our nation today is our almost complete dependence on non-renewable fossil fuels to power our cars, homes, and businesses. This includes the very real and visible effect this dependence has on our nation's foreign policies. What vision does each of you have to reduce our nation's dependence on fossil fuel-based power by 50% over the next 5 years and eliminating it entirely within 10 years, what will you do to realize this vision? Start down here.
One of the things that I think is a very real and present danger, if you will, is our dependence on foreign oil. I find it interesting that we as a society will buy oil from what I call a despot in Venezuela. He calls us everything but good. Now he wants us to have a war with Colombia. And we buy oil from countries in the Middle East, and they take that money that we send to them and get bullets and bombs and turn around and kill us with it. I think this is something that must be done. I think we have to do it. I don't think it's a question of how can we or what can we, but that we must do it. One of the things that I was talking today is that we as a group, we as a country, we as a citizenry do stand up and move forward when things have to be done and when we're inspired to do so. We have to have certain things, I think, that will bring this forward a long ways. One of those is nuclear power. I think that's incumbent upon this country to start putting nuclear power on all of our electrical outlets. Every place that we have a generating station, we need to have a nuclear power plant. If France can have them dotted all over the country, we certainly could do so in this country. The second area that I think we need to look at is we've got to open up our own drilling areas in this country. We've got to start pulling our own resources. That's the only way we'll get security as far as being dependent on foreign oil. Research and development into solar, into wind is certainly something that is viable and needs to be looked at. The problem is the sun is great except when it's behind clouds or when it's at night. So the problem is we've got to come up with research and development that will allow us to figure out a way to store it. So we've got to have initiatives for and tax incentives for those companies that can go out and do the research and development and can find it. But the challenge that we have is to give them the goal to have this done within 5 years. Is it doable? If we give them the challenge and we give them the incentive, absolutely it's doable. Thank you.
You know, one of these days, I'm hoping I'm going to come to the mic first and be impressive like this, but that never really happened. You know, energy is an interesting topic because it's so difficult to totally get your hands around. I live in an energy market, and for years, Hobbs viewed itself as an oil and gas economy. It still does. But we decided that oil and gas is not going to be the only energy component to society, and so we've expanded our vision regarding energy. We're going to be one of the first communities in Lake County to actually design, construct, and operate a uranium enrichment facility for purposes of nuclear power. We're going to be a strong proponent of that. We are a strong proponent of that. It took us roughly 30 months to get the permit issued to the NRC so that the plant could actually begin construction. There's no doubt nuclear power is in our future. It's something we're going to have to embrace and consider. And I would tell you, I fully support that. As a matter of fact, I'm on record with the Department of Energy and the Nuclear Regulatory Commission regarding this specific commodity. I still think there are great avenues for natural gas as well. I also believe that we're going to have to start conserving ourselves. I drive an Avalanche, Chevrolet Avalanche. I can remember back in the late 70s and early 80s when shopping centers were designed for small cars. Do you remember that? You pulled in the sun. Now do your cars fit in those slots? No, because what? We've gone back to larger cars again. As a nation, we've got to begin to conserve and rethink how we use energy. Natural gas, nuclear power, no doubt about wind and solar have to be continued to be explored as to its efficiency and cost. I think geothermal is also another commodity as it relates to housing and heating, both on for municipal buildings and personal residences. So I think there are a lot of avenues that we're going to find over time that will deplete our desire to be on fossil fuels.
Dr. Marquardt?
Well, you know, this is a question about vision, and I not only have vision, but as an optometrist, I provide vision to those who don't quite have it.